Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to our game 2 in this best out of 3. It's Team Liquid versus No Tidehunter. That's right, you are watching Beyond the Summit, surprisingly enough. We are casting some North American, European Dota. This is the Beyond the Summit Weekend Cup, part of our way to promote our LA studio that we are going to be building. Gods is already in LA. I'm going there soon, and we are going to start a studio. We're doing a Kickstarter, as I mentioned. But anyway, I'm LD. I'm joined here today by Blitz, and currently it's No Tidehunter leading Liquid 1-0. And Liquid, well, true to form, they went for something different. You gotta admire their willingness to be creative, but just didn't quite execute it perfectly. And like you said, Blitz, it had to be pretty much flawless execution for them to win that game.
Yeah, and actually, you knew that game was over when the victory Atos came out.
I called it, but I was mostly kidding. But that is a sign that that's a symptom that you're very healthy, right? Generally a good sign.
When your supports can afford
either that or you're in a pub.
But the Wisp continues to get banned. I know Fluff once told me that Goblack from Empire told him that once Wisp hits level 6, the game is over and everyone should leave. And so we're going to see that ban out every time. Because I know Liquid's in love with that hero because of that reason.
I can't wait until we get to see some Western teams play against, say, IG, because I can tell you right now, that Wisp may not hit level 6 until the 20-minute mark. I mean...
Yeah, but when he does...
But when he does, the game's over, yeah.
I have it on good authority that the game is just over.
It's very interesting, though, that because it's just such a crazy phenomenon, and I'm a little surprised we don't see more aggressive lanes. I mean, granted, when you're up against a team like Empire, where it's freaking Funnick on the Wisp, then, I mean, even if you go aggressive with a strong tri-lane, he's so damn good with the hero that he may get some kills anyway, but, yeah, I think the Wisp ban makes a lot of sense, just if you... Why deal with it? It's one of those heroes where, it's one of the few heroes where when you play against Wisp, it's like playing against Nyx Assassin. Nowhere is safe. You have to be very defensive, and you're constantly vigilant, which just makes it hard to execute most strategies.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, whatever lane loses a tower, your carry can't farm there anymore. It's gone. Like, that lane has been effectively cut off, and Wisp just makes things impossibly hard. Also, he can, come in, scoop, save a hero, overcharge late game. Once he gets a mech... all these things just contribute to a fantastic hero. I really think the Asian scene should at least give it another look.
Some of them have tried it, but we haven't seen any of the top teams try it. The ones that are trying it are kind of like the mid-tier teams, like the up-and-comers, basically, and they're not practiced with it. You can tell, like, they're not nearly as refined as any of the European or North American teams, because then nobody ever runs it, really. Wisp is a hero. You have to practice the crap out of it if you want to play it. So no Tide. Well, the Bat's the first pick, and we're going to see 2 Bat first picks in a row. Both teams willing to give it up. There is a mag available. Will it be that Bulba mag?
Yeah, I don't actually know if Team Liquid picks it mid very often. I'd imagine not, just because they like giving Korok that killing hero. They like giving him the dynamic mids, the snowball heroes, Queen of Pains, all that jazz.
Yeah, I would love to see a Queen of Pain for him. TA is not really the best choice. I mean, that's one of Korok's signature heroes, of course, but you're up against Bat already, so I'd like to see something like that Queen of Pain. Just a burst damage hero that can be a little more... I mean, he's an aggressive player, and OD is just a hard hero to really be aggressive in. Even if you play the hero well, there's only so much you can do. Ultimately, a lot of it comes down to how the rest of your team performs, but Queen of Pain is the kind of hero that can just take over the game if she has a good start.
Yeah, and I anticipate this game Liquid will kind of go balls to the walls, pick up his heroes for him. I know that they actually pick a lot of short lane Storm and stuff like that too, which for obvious reasons I'm excited to see if they actually do that.
Yeah, you like Storm. We get it. Move on. Yeah, Storm is really fun to watch, and there's a lifesteal in the pool, so we could see those Storm bombs, which are amazing. And Liquid is Keeper, who does combo really well with Lifestealer.
10 seconds remaining.
We'll see what they go for. The one thing about Storm is that he does kind of require that safe lane, especially when Bat's on the field. Storm can't lane mid against him, and Puck is going to be the choice.
Pick.
And I actually saw Puck being played by Korok once against Dendi mid, actually, and that did not go that well for him. But I know that Korok does play an excellent Puck. Dendi's just Dendi, so I'm not going to use that as the metric for his Puck.
Yeah, Puck has gotten quite a few buffs recently. The big one is the no mana cost and phase shift, but the damage buff is very important for a hero like Puck because he's a
10
solo.
seconds remaining.
He's never not soloing basically, and you need early
5
damage to last hit
seconds
effectively
remaining.
against a lot of the other heroes that are picked right now, and that damage buff is a big reason why I feel he's a much more legitimate pick. Although they're gonna go for Luna and Bounty Hunter, and suddenly Team Liquid feels very squishy against all this burst damage.
Yeah, but I think Team Liquid, they adhere to that Asian strategy, right? When you play against Bounty Hunter, where they force him out with the dual support. I know that's why Brax said that a lot of Chinese teams don't like picking him, right?
Yeah, he's very vulnerable to the. I mean, something DK was really good at shutting him down, even back in G1
10
League. When
seconds
that was when
remaining.
IG was going like the super cheesy Sven, Night Stalker, Bounty Hunter, mass
5
move speed
seconds
race car
remaining.
lineups, and DK completely shut that sort of thing down because they'd always get early sentries. They'd have like a Shadow Demon +1, and then Bounty Hunter just melts to that sort of thing.
Oh, signature hero.
Dire
The
team
Visage
back.
coming out
Yeah.
for fluff and stuff. This is a hero that you pick to dominate the lanes. It's a hero that has some utility later on, but if Visage isn't having an impact early, there are supports who generally offer you more. So let's see, what's that third hero going to be in the tri lane?
Dire team
Because
back.
that's where we pretty much always see the Visage. I'm surprised no Tidehunter not banning any of those out. It's all about Korok.
Yeah, and this is actually kind of surprising considering I'm pretty sure that Puck was picked for mid and not the
Team
off lane.
ban.
Yeah, I actually haven't watched Liquid enough to know if Bulba would play it, but Puck is not.
Dire team
She's
ban.
not really the best offlane unless she gets a 1v1, and even then it's only certain matchups. So I really would expect it to go mid as well.
Yeah, for the most part, they pick the offlaner as some sort of team fight. That's why I was kind of surprised by the Brood more than anything.
And yeah, I mean that's why we see Bulba playing Mag a lot. Team Liquid banning out the Undying. They definitely want to go aggressive tri-lane. Visage Keeper of the Light. That's pretty clear. But who's the third hero in the tri-lane going to be? There is a Lifestealer in the pool. That could be the perfect combo. And then we would just need the other
10
solo.
seconds remaining.
They banned the Sven. This shaping up to be a Lifestealer pick because Sven's Warcar is really good against him.
You think so?
I think so because they need some setup, right? They don't have it. They also need a carry because they don't have any DPS in the mid game. Lifestealer is also fantastic against Luna. He is kind of weak to Batrider, but that Rage is really good to deny the majority of Luna's damage. I mean, what else would you go for if not a Lifestealer?
I don't know. I guess he is the premier carry left up here. When I
10
lump all the carries
seconds
together, I think of Luna, Gyro, and Lifestealer as the tier 1. And then everything after that is just kind of slightly worse.
I would probably throw Lone Druid up there as well, but he's a little more
Well-
versatile. He doesn't have to be a carry.
I consider him more of a solo
Right.
rather
Yeah, that's
than
fair.
like a straight up carry. Like when I think carry, or I should emphasize that I think it's one of the tri-lane like 3.
Bulba Clock? We're going to see that Bulba. Boy, he had a huge game on Clock that I got to watch. I don't know who it was, but because whenever watching North American Dota, I'm like, or European Dota, I'm falling asleep at the end of the day. But he played Clock versus an offlane Darkseer, and he killed the Darkseer. That should never happen without supports coming in. Actually, the Darkseer got a little greedy and dived the tower, but he hit a hookshot while Darkseer was surged. So I think this is one of Bulba's stronger heroes, and obviously an exciting one to watch.
Yeah, really nice lineup overall. This feels more like a Liquid-S lineup
10 seconds
than it did last
remaining.
game.
This could be kind of LGDN style from No Tidehunter, potentially.
5 seconds remaining.
With the Bane Shen, these two can roam around quite well, and it is going to be that last pick Lifestealer. But No Tide, I feel they were expecting this because they went for Bane and they have Bat. These are two great heroes to deal with a one carry lineup.
Yep, and this is actually something that Team Liquid in general favors, though. That one carry lineup, pick Korok, Snowball, mid hero, and then just get a lot of team fight heroes in and try to get really, really good team fights. And this time, the team fight should be a lot better than it was last game. They have a lot of counter initiate, good team fight heroes with Puck ult. The Clockwork Cogs, they are the most annoying thing in the entire world for
my
Bat to play
God.
against.
Oh my god, they're so freaking annoying. And they're a 5-second duration at level 1, which is that's such a big buff to Clockwork.
Yeah, and Fluff's actually really good with the Visage Bats as well. Controlling them for the
10
stun and
seconds
getting
remaining.
the full utility out of them. I feel like a lot of players don't do that to the full extent.
seconds.
Oh, they
remaining.
also have some really cute combos, which we haven't had a chance to discuss yet. You can infest the Clockwork and hook in. You can infest the Puck, and she can blink in. So if they get those early levels and items up, they can really take the fight to No Tidehunter. And they pretty much have
Prepare
to,
for
because
battle.
No Tidehunter, especially with Track Gold and Luna, if Liquids get trading kills or if they're falling behind, they're not going to have the easiest time late game, especially offensive tri-lane Lifestealer. He's not going to farm as much unless he's getting a lot of kills. So they're going offensive tri-lane. Here we go.
Yeah, I assume. Wait, you think Liquid will go offensive tri-lane?
Yeah, you gotta, right? You pick Keeper of the Light, you pick Visage, you pick Lifestealer. This is an offensive tri-lane. And they're also contesting the enemy jungle, which generally suggests that... Well, they're up against the Chen, so maybe that's why.
Possibly. I think they might just send Bulba down here and actually trade, because I think they think Bulba will do a better job than the Clockwork will. And then they'll just force Admiral Bulldog to do nothing.
Is that a
game.
good trade, though? Because you're up against a Chen and a
30
Luna, who are
seconds to battle.
not that strong until they get some levels, but are devastating once they do. Do you want to trade? I guess they do.
Yeah, I anticipated this at least, but I think NTH did as well, and they're sending Admiral Bulldog to deal with this at bottom. They stacked him with a bunch of regen.
Oh, they pulled him. This is such a good matchup for Bounty Hunter. And Bulba doesn't have Sentry, so even if he gets Cogs or Battery Salt, Battery Salt does not affect invisible units, so this is not going to be a good lane for Bulba. Also, Clockwork has very low base armor, so he's very
Oh
vulnerable.
no, they're switching. They're... Wait, are they? Yeah, they're definitely switching. And I actually thought that'd be kind of neat if they offensive tri-lane, but I guess they can't, because Chen is a terror. What are you going to do with Chen, right?
Chen Luna, not the strongest offensive tri-lane. Once they get levels, they're great, but you got to get them first.
I actually thought for half a second they were going to put Loda mid.
I'm just very surprised to see a Visage pick, and this is such a good offensive tri-lane for Liquid. But they're not.
Yeah, but
going
what I
for
think
it.
they want to do more than anything is apply pressure to be able to apply pressure to mid, and you can't really do that. If you offensive tri-lane, it's...
Oh, they're rotating
Just a tad
bottom.
off.
Maybe they were expecting No Tide to go offensive, because it looks like they want this matchup. Maybe that's why. Well, we should introduce the players quickly, Blitz, before we forget. IX Mike on that hard support, Keeper of the Light. We have Fluff and stuff playing the Visage. He does have Sentries and Smoke picked up. Bulba is going to be on the Clockwork. So they're leaving the Lifestealer 1v1. No, TC's TPing bottom, so Bulba should be going top soon. Double damage Envy. Could get caught. Here's the open wounds. Envy did not expect this lane swap, and this should be our first blood. There you go. Fluff and stuff snags it. Team Liquid jumps out right away. TC on the Lifestealer. Korok going solo mid is the Puck. And then on No Tidehunter, who do we have?
We have S4 playing Bat Rider for NTH. Eke playing his world-famous Chen. Eternal Envy on the Bane, who actually just gave up First Blood. Lodeberg, Sweden's most famous player, playing that Luna. And Admiral Bulldog, the offlane hero himself, playing Bounty Hunter for NTH.
And this is going to be a hard matchup for Bulba, even in his safe lane. He should get some farm. Oh, they're diving Loda. He's already dead. And this is the power of this tri-lane. They have so much burst. They have an easy setup for that Illuminate, and Luna sucks against tri-lanes at the early levels. I mean, she's just so squishy.
Yeah, in general, it's difficult too, because Ake needs to pick up some nice creeps. And if they have good ward vision and spot him coming, then they're really going to limit his utility. And actually, Fluff actually picks up boots already. TC has them as well. IX Mike's level 2, so they do have a solid level advantage as well in this lane now.
And the other nice thing about running the offensive tri-lane is you can't pressure mid, like you mentioned, but you force the Chen to come help, so he's not jungling away. And he's going to run
Yeah, and
over, so-
they actually really need the Chen to do something here.
And he's just not going to be able to, because they have a ward. This is a nice ward. It's going to spot all the movement of the Chen, and Ake wasting a lot of time. Chen's one of those heroes that, you know, he's really not strong at the early levels, but all of a sudden he just spikes up dramatically once you hit 5, 6, 7. I mean, every single level is just a huge gain in utility.
Yeah, and that Chen in general is going to have a difficult game. He does have a smoke, but ganking for mid, unless Korok wastes a ton of his spells, it's going to be a little difficult to kill him, especially with phase shift.
Oh, bottom lane. Again with the Luna, I just can't check any of the other lanes, but open wounds into Illuminate, into the Visage nuke. And that's an easy kill.
Actually dive quite far for that one too. And it doesn't look like Eternal Envy at level 2 can really do much to stop them or discourage them from going right. Because they know when Ake is going to come with the Chen.
Yeah,
And he's still only level 3 and they have perfect ward vision, or well they did, so...
Ake's coming back again, but what is he going to be able to do in this lane? Realistically, you can't really go on Lifestealer. He's just going to rage away. They don't have any way to deal with that. Fluff is sitting really far back. They have the ward. They've got sentries in the lane, so they know there's no vision from No Tide. And Chen's just kind of watching them. He has to park himself here just to get the Luna some farm. It's not ideal. The good news is that Bulldog, as expected, is just crushing Bulba. It's just such a good matchup for the pulled BH. Just really not much Bulba can do.
Yeah, with the Poor Man Shield and Janata, you're essentially trading a free nuke that costs you absolutely nothing. It's just cooldown.
Yeah.
And so Bulba can't actually stay in the lane whatsoever to fight against that.
He will
So
be able
that
to
is a favorable matchup for them.
He will be able to up top lane. There's going to be a contest for the rune from Korok. Korok has an invis and 10 stick charges. And still, S4's going in. Oh, if he expects this orb movement, he might get the kill of Korok even with the invis rune. Oh, the Firefly wears out. Otherwise, he could have gotten it. Well, potentially gotten it.
I think he would have.
Oh, he actually had the flame break.
Because he had the flame break as well, yeah.
Almost killed him.
So it got him to like 2 hits. Maybe 1 stack of Firefly would have done it.
It's a scary matchup for Puck because you need to use your orb to farm, especially when sticky napalm's on you if you have to turn to hit creeps. And at the same time, when you use your orb, you can get flame break back in and die. Bottom lane, they're going in onto Lodaberg, and what can Loda really do? Just nothing. One more auto attack down, he'll go. The fluff trades. The Centaur Stomp was there, and they do pick up the counter kill. But trading, as long as the Luna's dying and the Lifestealer's not, is something Liquid will be happy to do, especially because Ake's not farming. Well, he's level 4, but not as much as he would be.
The farm advantage is actually in NTH's favor, though. The Bounty Hunter is 28 CS, which is kind of ridiculous. And the Bat Rider, as expected, is dominating the mid lane. Korok with absolutely no denies. So S4 is going to pick up a quick level 6 here. And this is actually expected, though. Because if Bat can't kill you, then he'll just out-farm you using sticky napalm.
I don't know how you feel about Clockwork, or if you got to watch LGD run it, but I feel like he's actually kind of better as a tri-lane hero, just because the cogs, if you have something like Shadow Demon to set him up, then you just cog a hero, and you've set, if they're invis here, you have sentries, otherwise you can just kill them, but 1v1, he loses to a lot of heroes. I mean, BH is not generally a dominant 1v1, but he can be when he's pulled.
Yeah, when you get a Poor Man Shield and that much regen, you can't trade against Janata. That's just the worst thing to do in the world.
Yeah, especially for a melee with low armor, but I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like Clockwork doesn't win many 1v1 matchups.
No, he definitely doesn't. He has quite a difficult time.
And he used to be a much more popular solo, but all the solos nowadays are just so good at dominating the lane.
Yeah. Or they can survive better than he can.
Yeah, Cogs can be good to survive, but it's kind of hit or miss. Oh, here we go on the bottom lane. Onto Luna, there is going to be a soul substitute. No, nice defensive sleep by Envy, chose the correct target there. And can they turn this around with the rage? Andy, the Chendu comes in, they just burst him down. That was a big time test of faith. And Ake is doing work on his Chen.
Yeah, they actually barely just missed the wave. With Keeper of the
Bulldog's
Light, that could have done it.
They're going to have a track kill as well, most likely. He doesn't have Infest yet. He's only level 5. He's one creep from level 6. Otherwise, Fluff could have walked in and given him a way out with that Infest, but instead he drops.
Yeah, and here's the issue with giving Admiral Bulldog just free XP like this. He's going to win the lane, and on top of that, he's just going to go around the map getting track kills.
Oh, Korok will most likely drop here to Bulldog, even though he gives up the kill. It's still a track kill going the way of Bulldog. So Korok gets the kill, but Bulldog already up to level 8. Phase boot's complete, and I mean, it's a massive nuke at this point. Even with only 1 point Janata, it's still 156 damage, and he's got a level 3 Shuriken Toss. And you really can't go offensive tri-lane anymore when you're up against this really highly farmed, highly leveled bounty hunter.
They do kill bottom again, though.
It's a feeding
Lotus
frenzy
just had
for
the worst
Luna.
game ever. Yeah, I feel so bad for him, because there's not much he can do. He has to take the risk by farming, but any time that IX Mike just charges up the blast and goes on him, that's half his life. And then Lifestealer can burn away the rest really quickly.
I mean, it's sort of like with Wisp. This is how you deal with a hero like Luna. Offensive tri-lane, especially with something like Lifestealer, and Luna just can't do anything against it. I feel like if they had a stronger solo for Bulba, they would be in a much better position. Because really, the 2 solos for No Tide are the reason they're still doing well. The Bounty Hunter dominated his lane, the Bat Rider dominated his lane. I mean, doubling the CS pretty much for both of those solos.
Yeah, that's why honestly, that's why I thought they would defensive tri-lane.
Yeah.
Thinking that they would just force Admiral Bulldog completely out of the lane, give him no XP, but he's had such a great start right now. And any sort of trade they get for one, playing against a hero like Bounty Hunter is just terrible for you.
Only a 1k gold lead for No Tide, only a 1k experience lead, but when you consider they're down 2 kills, that's actually damn good. Top lane, S4 gets coiled after the cogs. He's still in Firefly form. Will he be able to kill him off? They will in the end. Now the chase going bottom. Fluff has an Invis rune. I think No Tide Hunter, yep, they have an Observer, so they should have spotted him with the Invis. And Fluff's not going to be able to pick up a kill here, but he will place a ward.
It was also super obvious because everyone just left the lane.
Yeah.
Like all at once. They're like, well, wonder what could that be.
He's probably not farming our jungle.
Yeah, that's the issue with when you're in the enemy's lane like that, in their short lane, it makes things a little bit obvious when everyone's just kind of vanished.
Especially on the Radiant, because you can't pull the hard camp. On the Dire side, you can pull this hard camp and sort of fix the creep equilibrium, so you don't know where the supports are, but when you're tri-lane against the Radiant, you know where they are. They're either coming after you or they're just not in the lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Naka's actually done a really fantastic job evening out the lane for bottom. Lodo's slowly picking up farm. Things aren't ideal for him, but you know, NTH is known for stacking and getting their carries back into the game, so I'm not too concerned about his farm. He should get what he needs. Although he is 0-4 right now. Things have gone kind of awfully for him.
Just gotta Midas, you'll be fine, Loda. They're gonna go in on him again. There's the open wounds. He has Eclipse, but it's not useful. Bulba is here with the fake hook, the Illuminate, and the final kill from the final damage done by the battery assault. They're still chasing. They've got Envy Dream coiled up, and no Tidehunter doesn't have that great counter initiate like the Mag this game, and Liquid picks up a quick pair of kills. Immediately, no Tidehunter should look to counter push, but I don't think they're gonna get a good trade out of this.
Yeah, you can't really farm against a tower against a hero like Clockwork. Bulba with a really nice initiate there, and anytime they take a disadvantageous fight, it's going to be really difficult for NTH to run away, because they do have the Dream Coil, they have the long range initiate with hook shot, and they can catch up so quickly. They close distance so fast with open wounds and grave chill as well. They have just so many ways of closing the distance.
They are a bit light on actual stuns this game, but until Luna gets a BKB, that's not going to be an issue. I wonder if Bounty Hunter will go for one. Often we see the early Vlads, but he's actually going drums this game. Well, there's not that much physical damage on Liquid side, so it kind of
yeah, and it
sense.
doesn't. The early Vlads is also so you can rush, and it doesn't look like they're going to do that anytime soon this game, especially since they're not on Dire and you know the kind of start that Loda has had, where he just picks up his Tranquils right now. That's not something that they really have to worry about.
So interesting build from Bulba. He's actually gone for the max battery assault. He's up against a Chen, who's a pretty good pusher. And it doesn't really help you 1v1 versus the BH, so I'm kind of curious. What do you make of his skill build? Because normally
I think it's just for the damage
the rocket
more than anything. Yeah, you normally do see the rocket, but and actually some people get cogs now as well. Just because the mana and health drain on it is really nice.
Right.
It's 200 at max level, but
yeah, it's pretty spammable actually. It's not that long of a cooldown.
but if you do initiate one-on-one, battery assault does give you the best possible damage.
And also, Loda's just gonna die. I actually don't know if Luna can she cast her nukes when if she's the old, because some heroes like Earthshaker cannot cast Fissure if they're solo.
No, I don't think she can get the Eclipse off.
Yeah, so that's
I
actually
think it has to be preemptive because there is like a slight animation to it. I don't think it's as pronounced as Fissure is, but it's still pretty bad, right? Cause she's the,
yeah. She like waves her arm around,
yeah.
and then the beams of doom come in. I was waving my arm around while I said that.
Eclipse.
I summon thee, and then it eclipse. Where's that eclipse? All right, here it is. So the offensive tri-lane, the one downside is the supports are quite a bit, well, not really that leveled up. Ake's almost up to level 7. Envy's even with Liquid supports, so they're a bit behind on the supports levels, but here comes the stack farm, and that should catch them up.
You knew it was coming, folks.
It's coming from Liquid, though, so that's okay. We'll allow it.
Yeah, NTH does it at this point. You're just gonna be like, well, my point's proven.
Look at Loda, he's just anything he can buy. This is a smart play by him, though, getting the Wraithband Bracer. I mean, you're probably gonna die quite a few more times this game, so might as well just spend your gold when you have it.
Yeah, I mean, he picked up the Wraithband thinking he was gonna get a 1-on-1 or 3-on-1 matchup against the Clockwork.
Boy, was he wrong.
Things have churned.
Saddest Luna ever.
Yeah, but this is actually really good for him because he's just going to farm this out for as long as he can. He does have a TP, his Eclipse is up, and he's going to come to the fight as late as he possibly can.
And if he gets a big Eclipse fight with maybe 2 kills, this could easily turn the
Oh,
engagement.
there's
Korok's already got a
initiate.
blink onto S4. There's a track on Korok, a nice Dream Coil plays, holding Bulldog away from the rest of the engagement, and Fest by TC, then pops back out again. Bulba gets caught by the Eclipse, like you said, arriving to the fight late, but Fluff and Stuff has almost full Soul Assumption charges, could probably kill off one more hero. If they can get in range, it's going to be S4 who should drop to that Soul Assumption. Fluff nukes him down, double kill for him. I think it was 1 track kill for no Tidehunter in that engagement. They are defending the tower so far, though.
Yeah, but I think they have to give this up. Bulldog can't really do anything to stop this. Eclipse is down, so they can go on Loda. He should be a little bit afraid here of the initiate, because if he gets an open wounds range, he's just dead.
You know, that early blink, you always want to make sure that you make it count, get a couple of quick kills, and No Tide just did not know it was coming.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice heads-up play by S4, minimizing the damage there if you saw. He was able to pick up a kill, live for quite a long time, and make the focus about him instead of the Luna.
And he bought his blink in the midst of that chaos, too.
Yeah, he actually bought it before the fight
did
started.
he? Okay.
Yeah, everything just went terribly for him, though, after that. But Loda did actually pick up quite a bit there. They get the kill. They do lose the tower, but they get a track kill off on that. Loda didn't die, and he's just going to go back to farming. This is exactly what he needs to do to catch up. Come to fight slightly late, have your team defend for as long as possible without you, and then cast Eclipse at the end. That's really the only thing you can do when you have a start this poor.
One really powerful thing about Dream Coils is got a low cooldown. As far as the blink, I don't know if Liquid knows about it. There's a flame break onto TC. Track up on Korok's pretty low. S4 could maybe go in on him, try and bring him down, and he's gonna go in on Korok right now. He's tracked and he gets hit by the Janata Shriek and he's dead. Never mind, just the brain sap to bring him down. The tower will fall. Not gonna be denied, but that track kill, 3 or 4 heroes got the gold for that. Not a bad trade for your tier 1.
No, not at all. And that's actually kind of what they're looking for. They were a little bit behind, in my opinion, especially since they're giving up towers, but any sort of trade with track, getting a kill on a key hero like Korok and keeping him off the map, what it really does is it allows Loda to farm a little bit more safely. He doesn't have to worry about just as much.
Yeah, Liquid's quite far ahead in gold, but if we look at the tower count, they're up 3 towers to 0, so actually they're basically behind in gold when you, if you don't count the towers, and No Tidehunter's ahead in experience. And whenever you have Bounty Hunter, you always have the big comeback potential, plus Admiral Bulldog is getting really fat. Once he gets this BKB, the only way to deal with him is to cog him. There's Dream Coil won't be helpful, Open Wounds won't be helpful, Lifestealer can just be kited with track. Bulldog can be a huge disruptive influence in the coming team fights.
Yeah, Liquid kind of has to turn on the aggression right now. That's a really good point that you make. NTH has heroes that are going to rush BKBs. That's going to make teamfights really, really difficult for Liquid because they have no way of stopping it. Or they actually have no way of initiating.
And they are going in mid, but there's the Chen heal. Bulldog is really tanky. They're going to go in on Envy, who's actually just ulting one and melting for his place. Oh, I heard a hook. What did he actually hook here? Oh, he caught out S4. S4 has the blink and the ult cooling down. And could maybe... Well, you can't really kill the Lifestealer. Can you? He's thinking about it. No, they may actually have to give up this tower, in fact, with Bane being dead and also wasting his ult.
Yeah, I think they're actually just going to trade Loda getting a bit more farm. Unless they overextend, but they're going to pick off... no, they're not.
I thought they maybe could have gotten 2 kills. It looks like Bulba tried to hook it on the bat, even though I didn't have it on my camera. And could have gone maybe for
he cogged, but then S4 just kind of,
flight out.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe just go for the Bounty Hunter there, but they didn't commit to it in the end.
The bounty is really tanky, to be fair.
Yeah,
he's got 11 health, 11 armor, and he has drum charges and track. So, but as I was saying, Liquid has a really difficult time initiating against BKB heroes, and they don't really have lockdowns. So Loda can always just get his BKB off because BKB is almost instant. It is instant, so they're gonna have to just apply the pressure while they can in this mid game, where they do have the advantage. I mean, Fluff almost has a pipe, if you notice. They're just building around the Luna ult.
Yeah, and that's not going to be a total solution because Bounty Hunter does a lot of physical damage. He hasn't gone for the max Janata Shadow Walk early. This is the normal build. When you have a good start, you can just get so many kills with Shriek and Toss, but his physical DPS won't be as scary for a little while. Liquid doesn't have a gem. Oh, they do have a gem. Bulba's picked one up. I believe one of the supports gave it to him.
They're just gonna go for the mid game all out. Well, they're just gonna force as many fights as they possibly can here.
Yeah, even TC, he hasn't gone for Midas. He's gone for the Armlet Phase Drum, just the most potent early to mid game build you can go for on a Lifestealer.
And I think they're gonna start gearing
Oh,
up.
Bulldog! You,
What a snipe.
you devilish bastard, you.
Bulldog's so sneaky, as Bulldogs often are.
Oh, Envy gets hooked in Cog. Bulba saw him rotating through the middle lane, and now, of course, Battery Cell will immediately remove that self-sleep, so it's not going to help Envy survive. Or is it? The Urn Charge is applied. There's the high to low ground mech from Ake. Envy gets the big bail, and Vayne is so deceptively tanky. He even runs in mid, knowing that he'll be going back to base. That brain sap mech combo, suddenly you're full HP. Oh, Bulldog gets caught. He didn't know about the gem. They haven't shown it yet. They should be able to pick him off, but the gem gets a range. Here it is, that huge soul assumption. And that's a big kill. That was a long streak, dominating for Bulldog. Down he goes, and they can go right into Roche, and it looks like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, and from here on out, they're just gonna force fights left and right. They know that Loda went for the drums, so he's not gonna be very close to his BKB. They still have like a 3 or 4 minute timing window where they can just take fights left and right, and they're gonna have the pipe. That should be able to minimize a lot of the damage that the Eclipse should do. And I think they're going to pick up a mech with pretty soon on IX Mike as well.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, they don't really have that reliable lockdown to deal with the BKBs. I mean, not even something like a, you know, just like a Blink RP. Even the Dream Coil is not going to be helpful. They could maybe get a Basher on TC, eventually a Hex on Korok, but they've got to keep the pressure up. After they get the Sieges, they have the pipe. They need to go for these tier 2s, and then it will be much more difficult for No Tide to farm safely, especially because they have Visage. One of his very powerful qualities as a support is he can scout everywhere. He's basically got 2 Beastmaster Hawks, which means it gets a lot more dangerous to be out on the map.
Dire's top tower
And
is
here we
under
go.
attack.
There's the Aegis. I anticipate they'll just force fights. Please do it, Liquid. Go top.
And they're gonna go
Actually,
mid, because you said that.
Yeah, they can't defend the tower. I just noticed that it was at like 100 health. But aside from that, I think they're just gonna try to force fights here.
And No Tidehunter is gonna trade, it looks like.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna try to force Liquid to go back, and then they'll run them in circles.
This tower would pretty much be Loda's BKB. You'll notice how far he's sitting back, because he knows he is
Dire's
public
top
enemy
tower
#1
is
in
under
Liquid's
attack.
eyes. Actually, they're
Yeah, so they force Liquid back. It's exactly what they want to do. I don't think they want to take a fight so far out.
TC is going to be backing off now as well. He's up to 1,700 gold. I really think they need that Basher. They're just lacking on ways to deal with the BKB.
Incoming S and Y.
Yeah, if I think he needs a Basher, he's getting like the most... Probably a Dagon 5 will be the choice.
Isn't that the one Sylar does? He gets an S and Y, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what Breck said.
I think he did it one game in the GST challenge. I haven't exactly seen a lot of his lifesteal games. I know YYF likes his S and Y. He plays a lot of lifesteal. It's actually his favorite pub hero, surprisingly enough.
Why? It's
And
so
he's-
fun.
And he's like an 80% win rate. Well, it's just surprising because you don't see him actually play it much in matches, but...
No. But he is the ultimate kill carry, right? You just run past people, open wounds, rage, and nobody can really stop you.
Yeah. It's a fun hero to play, that's for sure. And they're just going to run up behind the lifesteal. The pipe isn't up yet, though. He's only got the hood. Is the pipe on the courier? Oh, it is.
Radiant's
Pipe
middle
and
It was,
Mac
tower
both
it was
coming
dead
out.
for so long. Courier?
Yeah, that
think
courier
Fluff-
kill is actually quite big, because it wasted a decent amount
Yeah,
of the
Fluff
Aegis
had it
time.
for quite a bit. Fluff had the pipe.
Radiant's
Couldn't
middle
really do
tower
much about
is
it
under
though.
attack.
But they do have the core key items. To break into a base in an early game scenario, you either need like a 20k gold lead or you need the pipe and the mech. And they do have those. So here we go.
Yeah, I know Brack says you need all of it. You need the pipe, the mech, the Aegis, and the 15 to 20k gold lead. But Liquid at least has 2 of those components.
Yeah. Well, they do have. They did have the much more successful early mid game as well. So and you can't really go. It's kind of difficult going late game with the bounty, because anytime a big engagement happens, and if it goes just slightly wrong, and your entire team gets tracked, then you've just lost the game. It's like giving up like 4 towers.
They do have a good lineup to hunt the bounty, I feel, with the gem, especially until he gets that BKB, which his is also going to be a bit delayed because of his item build. And that being said, though, Liquid Seed tier 2, the pressure continues, and he's not even using the familiars to chip away at it, just keeping them back, ready to counter-initiate with those stuns if the fight should break out.
Radiant's
They get the
middle
tier 2.
tower has fallen.
Yeah, and I think they're just going to go rotate T2 to T2, build up their gold lead, get it going, and then from there on out, hopefully try to breach the base at a reasonable time. Or maybe they'll just go for like the overwhelming farm advantage where the BKBs don't matter, right? Because if Loda's BKB is so delayed where he doesn't have any damage to back it up, then it's not really worthwhile.
Lifestar can deal with a Luna, especially when he has a farm lead. If he gets that Basher Abyssal Blade, or just the completed Abyssal Blade, I mean, Luna can't do a thing against that. Generally, Luna's just the better flash farmer, especially if Lifestar doesn't go Midas, but...
But he's not getting a BKB, or not a Basher.
Yeah, what's he... Oh.
Maelstrom most likely?
Yeah, most likely. I guess it could be the Desolator, because No Tide did not go for Vlad's, but they do have Mech. Yeah, it probably would be best to get the Maelstrom here.
Yeah, I think he wants a little bit more attack speed to go along with this.
You can also get the Maelstrom and then go back for something like a Basher, because, like you said, the attack speed, it's a very cost-effective item compared to some others.
Yeah, I would have actually liked to see the Basher too, but he doesn't really have too much attack speed to back it up. So maybe as a third item, and NTH is actually just going to go for the trade here. They know that they're weak, and a lot of it is also the positioning is just a little bit off, but Liquid is going to rotate in, and I think they're just going to try to catch him off guard. Korok does have a blink and a blink, or a TP and a blink. They can always just rotate TC.
Oh, what a hook by Bulba to start the fight! Catches Bulldog out! Bulldog is gonna drop here in the middle of it all. Open wounds. He didn't get any tracks off except one on Bulba, but both, they're all in the chase. It's gonna be no Tidehunter on the way out. Dream Coil could be huge. It will land on 2. Trying to dodge those Centaur stops. The Familiars come in. The follow-up is here. Ake's gonna fall. He sends one home. Save yourself. I'm going down with the ship, and down he'll go. And Liquid with Pipe, Mech, oh, even the Lifestar Infest getting rid of Ake's army. They might be able to threaten, well, at least finish the tier 2 bottom, or maybe even go just tier 3
No, I
mid.
think they're just going to go mid. That was actually so smart. If you notice, they said, oh, okay, what they're going to do is they're going to try to trade here, but before it goes, our 3 supports can rotate in. Korok can initiate some from so far out with the Orb, the Blink Dagger, and the Dream Coil, and look at this, TC just goes in. They're rampant. They know that they can base.
He's diving, but they know they can take this. The Eclipse comes out. It actually does a lot of damage. TC may have overextended there. He's got an Armlet Toggle. Not able to do so. He'll lose the Aegis. They did. Do they have a Bane ultimate? Do they have a buyback for it? No, but the Flame Break, oh, just a second early. I don't know if they could have gotten the kill anyway. It looks like Bulldog has rejoined the fight. There's a buyback from Fluff and stuff. They really want to go. Liquid just dove a little bit too far there.
Yeah, I mean, that was past like 3 T3 towers and some base towers, but...
I'm trying to be polite. Yeah, they could have just sieged the tower. They have Pipe Mech.
No, but I think they can still go in. The Fluff buys back, ports in. The Pipe is on CD, but they know that the Eclipse is down, so this is the time to go.
That's true.
No Eclipse, no bad ult. This is the best time for them to go. They do have Mech and Pipe up soon. Korok's ult is actually off CD. Like you mentioned several times, the Dream Coil does come off soon. And they can kind of just siege this down with the Illuminate. They can't actually stand in this. And this is just going to creep clear, rinse and repeat, hit the tower a few times.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a cleaner fight for them, but they... Oh, there's the hook to start. Bulba's been on the money with those hooks. Then they actually force-staff him out. That was the Batrider trying to help his teammate, but it's too late. The damage is done, and this is going to be multiple lanes of Rax, potentially. They certainly will get this one. S4 pulls in TC. There's the Dream Coil on 3. There's no BKB on Luna for 3 seconds. She takes a lot of damage. She will have that BKB, but she's still caught Dream Coil, forced to pop it. They may actually have to back off here without getting the Rax, but Loda is not going to live forever. There's the Pipe. He kills off the Familiar. Still the chase on. S4 Flame breaks them away. The defensive cogs by Bulba, whose hook cools down in 20 seconds. Quark jumps back in. Ake on the run. There's your nuke from Fluff and stuff. Ake now going to have to run the long way out around the base. They're driving them back. They're zoning them out, but they can't go in for the Rax yet. Now they come back in. They're channeling the Illuminate. Oh, Korok, he's overextended. He gets Bane ulted and picked off. That was a blunder, and now Liquid will have to back.
Yeah, there's that trademark aggression. I actually don't think he thought that the ult was up there.
Yeah, well, Bane never got to use it in the last engagement. He just died when Bulba hooked him.
Yeah, and this is actually where the strength of Clock came in, because most of the time when you lose a fight and you're playing against a hero like Bounty Hunter, he just kind of catches up with his team. But Cog's right there, really well placed in the middle of the lane. Bulba forces them back, and they just reset.
They are still ahead, and when it comes to gold, experience really takes a sharp uptick upwards, but, I mean, it's a very slight lead for 27 minutes, especially when you're up 8 kills, and most of this is just track gold. Well, actually, Bulldog only has 1 assist, but I think he's thrown out more tracks than that. You don't get an assist just for track. You have to actually do damage. Because they're, I mean, when we count towers, they're 1 behind there. Or 2 behind, actually. So yeah, they're up. Liquid's up on towers. They got the Roche. You would like to be farther ahead at this point, but that's just the power of Track and Chen and his ability to farm as well.
Yeah, they did breach the base tower, though. I think they could have actually taken the racks there if they didn't dive so hard. I think they kind of miscounted their advantage a little. They all got hit by Eclipse. Like, no creep tanked it.
Yeah, it was
A bunch of
perfect
towers were
Eclipse.
hitting at them at the same time. Yeah, that was the absolute worst fight that Liquid could have taken. And it still went okay, so I think they're just going to settle for taking T2s now and just being safe.
I also feel like Liquid's a bit lacking, just like that instantly we're gonna get a kill. Because Chen can ult to try and save someone, you can send someone back to base, Luna can pop the BKB, Batrider can just force staff an ally to safety. No Tidehunter have a lot of get out of jail, if not free, then with minimal damage cards. And a Basher or a Hex would make the difference. They don't have the Basher, but Korok is working towards the Hex. The concern is by the time he can farm one, well, Luna may have that next big item, Admiral Bulldog may. Admiral Bulldog still doesn't have his BKB. He was just crushing his lane, but he's really slipped behind.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. If you notice, they initiate on him every time. So if the fight does go poorly, worst comes to worst, track is taken out of the equation, so things don't snowball too quickly out.
Yeah, that may not help them breaking the base if he's got buyback. I assume he'll finish his BKB, but even if you kill him off first, he can still buy back. That's actually what he did in the last engagement, I believe. And they're waiting for Roche now. It feels like a game that really could go either way, despite Liquid having what appears to be far superior map control. BKB is now up in bounty, so they have the dual cores with BKBs. And, oh, they smoke under a Liquid ward. What can Liquid do to punish this? Are they gonna try and leave someone out as bait? I think they might. Come on, Liquid, this is time to...
It's gonna have to be Bulba or Fluff, because they have the best way of getting out as well.
Yeah, Bulba's got the gem and the force staff, but if he gets just blink lassoed, this could go poorly. The Dream Coil is going to be the big thing to watch. Has to be suspicious, just the clock on a hill, chilling. I wonder why Bulba's there. They must be Roshing. S4's going to spot out that they're not. There's the track on Bulba. Is S4 going to go in? He should see the entire enemy team is here.
No, he's just seeing if they were actually doing it or not.
Yeah, that was a
Considering
really
that
smart
Firefly
movement
gives so
by
much
him.
vision.
Yeah, you get flying vision. I mean, he saw all 5 heroes lurking in the trees. Against any other hero, I think that might have worked. Oh, there's the cook in! Anyway, but Bulba immediately gonna core staff himself out of his own cogs. There's the Eclipse going off, but the pipe was used by Fluff and stuff. TC manning up. BKB is used by Admiral Bulldog. TC with that Desolator. Can they bring him down? They have the lasso. He'll invest inside an ally. Now he pops back out. He could still get lassoed. He will get lassoed. Now he's burst down. And without him, do they have the damage? I'm not sure they do. Loda's on the way out. Maybe they do. The Familiars are doing lurk. He could nuke down Admiral Bulldog. Korra comes in. That's a Dream Coil on 2. Boy, he was patient with that. Picks up another. There's your nuke from Fluff and stuff. Eternal Envy will drop. Triple kill for Korok of all heroes. Not often you see the Lifestealer die, and then it's the Puck who gets the triple, but do no tie to buybacks. If not, this Rax is dead.
Yeah, and that was actually a really smart play by S4. He held the lasso for as long as possible to try to lock down TC, but TC saves enough money for the buyback. Keep the great at bringing back heroes, and then after that...
Oh, again with the hooks from Bulba. I think they should really just get the Rax and get out, and yeah, they're playing a little bit safer now.
Yeah. They know that their advantage isn't that secure. They've done a base dive before. It didn't go exactly as planned, so...
I mean, these cogs, like you said, are just so freaking annoying to play against. They're so disruptive in the team fights. And especially in the area where he used them, which was like right here. Such a choke. Really hard to play against. And now they're going Roche, and Roche should drop very easily. Liquid's playing this one well. I mean, this was a similar lineup to last game, where they had to execute really well. They haven't been flawless, but they've been pretty close. Loda's going to pick up a double damager, and Roche is dropping low. TC should be finishing this off soon. Korok does not have Dream Coil, and they know this, but it's cooling down any second now. Here comes Bulldog with a BKB. He wants to steal this Roche. He wants this Aegis. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Lifestealer who picks it up. It's also killed by the Dire, so Bulldog fails on both counts with the Jack there. Now Bulldog on the way out, and in comes the lasso. He's going to pull up TC onto the high ground, but he's got the Aegis, and TC's actually going to live. I hear a Bane ult being channeled for a long time. They kill off the Puck. Now the... is Lifestealer running or fighting? They can't make up their minds. Now he goes back in while the pipe is used. He's still alive, but he's not auto-attacking. He infests a Chen creep. He pops back out. Free heal in the middle of the fight. Onto Ake. Ake should drop one more auto-attack. Down he goes. The chase, or really the escape, is on. Bulba, oh, he hooked. And did he hit a creep? I think he did. I think he hit one of the H's. He could have had some kills there otherwise. Unfortunate. TC
So how
lived.
tiring is that fight to cast?
Well, it was a little chaotic. they can't believe TC lived there. I mean, that S4 did a great job. He completely isolated from the fight. He almost popped the Aegis as well, but he just wasn't quite able to do it. I think TC did a little armlet toggling there at the last second and just got out of the Firefly barely.
Yeah, he's done a really good job in general. If you notice, S4 never wastes his lasso. He always goes in on TC, no matter what. Depends on the position. If TC decides to go in and fight, he always gets the lasso off, and right there, the fight could have gone a lot worse. He minimized a lot of the damage. He didn't manage to get the Aegis caught out, but he did manage to get the rest of his teammates out, and a lot of the damage was taken out of the fight.
Yeah, you know what the big issue is? They have to go in with BH first, because if Luna goes in first and she dies, the fight's over. And Bat can't really go in first because they can't burst down the lifesteal with the lasso and he's at full HP. So it's got to be BH who goes in first. That means, like you said, I mean, either he's getting initiated upon or he runs in first and dies. They just don't have that reliable initiate like they did last game with the mag, so it makes life a lot harder.
Here you go, though. The pipe is popped. Glyph is up, though, right?
Yeah, Glyph is available, and they're going to go. Korok, Dream Coil all catches out too. S4 does not have a BKB this time. Bulba hooks in. He should be potentially dropping the cogs here. He's going to cog in. Oh, this is a lifestealer just chopping away at Admiral Bulldog. Eclipse flies forward. S4 running. TC is just not caring at all about this. He's got Rage again as well. He gets Lasso to pull back in. They have to kill him fully. He's still got the Aegis, though. He's going to come back after these messages. Loda running away, barely lives, almost drops, and even with what looked like an okay fight for No Tide, the Eclipse just didn't get to do anything. There's too much crap here in the way, and this may be a second lane of Rex for Liquid.
That was a 1 HP Luna left.
Oh, does she actually have 1 HP? I just saw she was low.
Yeah, the bat hit her at the last second, and it ticked her to 1.
Oh, you mean the Visage bat? I'm familiar. I was confused. I was like, that's on her team. Ake's in trouble. Ake will drop. He gets caught out of position. Grave Shield down. And now with that kill on the Chen, there's no lasso yet. It's cooling down for 30 seconds. He doesn't have that level 3 lasso with the 50-second cooldown. This should be Rex. I hear a cog, or a hook rather. Bobo hooking a teammate again, it looks like.
He's been really good at that.
He's actually had some really nice hooks this game.
Alright, I'll give him credit for that.
You're too hard on the poor guy.
2 lanes of Max here, and it looks like they're gonna fight. They're gonna be forced to fight TC.
Oh, Bat jumps in. He's got the last one, 3 seconds, but it's not ready yet, and TC is just not low enough yet. S4's running away. Dream Coil, but he 4 steps out of it. He may drop. GG from No Tide Hunter. No Tide Hunter just crushed Liquid in game 1, but game 2, Liquid strikes back. They show a lot of confidence going for another one of these lineups, which just has to win the lanes, and they won the tri-lane. They didn't win the solos, but it was just the decision-making and the item selection in the mid-game, especially the early pipe on the Visage, the early mech out on the Keeper Light. These core items allowed them to push, and, I mean, you gotta say, just that Luna, 0-7, they really shut down Loda.
Yeah, the big difference here was that TC was able to participate early in the fights because he was able to get the drums up really quickly with the phase boots, and that's really all that Lifestealer needs to engage in early fights. Whereas Loda had to come in at the very end, you know, he had to be at there, he couldn't really do anything offensively, he had to play so defensively. He couldn't go to any other lane but bottom, because there was no other protection. Liquid was applying pressure everywhere else, and so he only had half a lane to farm pretty much, because he couldn't go very far either. Since Clockwork can initiate from so far out, and just the puck got a really quick blink after that. From there on out, it's just a terrible, terrible, terrible thing for him to try to farm anywhere else on the map.
Wow, Liquid strikes back in a big way, but this is, of course, a best out of 3. Guys, you are watching the BTS Weekend Cup. It's a weekend full of tangos. We already played our first match in a fistful of tangos. We do have more games coming your way, but currently in the Weekend Cup, it is Team Liquid tied up 1-1 with No Tide Hunter. The winner of this match is 1 best out of 5 away from taking home all the prize money, $500 available in this event. I'm LD, he's Blitz. You're watching Beyond the Summit. Stay tuned, we have more action coming up. But once again, I just want to say thank you to everybody. This community has been amazing from day one, even from when I started casting. Yeah, there's always flamers and trolls, but overall, you guys have shown a lot of support for us, a lot of the other up-and-comers in the scene. We're just grateful that we get to do this for what will hopefully be a living once we move to LA. That's right, we're starting a studio. We have a Kickstarter up on Indiegogo.com. Go check it out. Thank you again for your support, guys, and stay tuned because Game 3 is coming up.